and welcome back to ECS Coffee. My name is Rebecca and today we're going to be taking a look at the DeLonghi Linea Classic. All right, this is a small semi-automatic espresso machine from DeLonghi. So this is nice and compact. It's got a few cool functions and features in it that are different than some other semi-automatics that are have been or were in the past in the similar price point as this machine is, which is about $250 Canadian. So let's go through and look at some of the functions and features of this machine and kind of what it has to offer for you. So it's obviously very compact. It does not have a grinder on board, so you would need to pair it with a separate grinder or just use pre-ground, since it does come stock with two dual wall or pressurized baskets. So you get a single shot pressurized and you get a double shot pressurized. So we're going to be using a double shot today. This is the portafilter that comes with it. It's super light, like there's like zero weight to it. It feels like I'm carrying nothing. So you will need to pair it with a grinder. We're using the DF64 today, though you could do something like the Encore ESP. Even a couple of other grinders from Baratza would be a good option, like the Virtuoso Plus would be great too, just because you are using just dual wall pressurized baskets with this machine. It doesn't come stock with single wall or unpressurized baskets, so using a grinder that's not specific for espresso will still get you an okay result. Yeah, so it's just an option for you there. You'll have a Panarello steaming wand with this machine. So you do have two functions. You have hot milk and then cappuccino. So cappuccino will have more foam. Hot milk will have just a little foam to no foam. We have a removable drip tray, which I actually kind of like. So with the drip tray, we have a smaller cup clearance, and then I take the drip tray away, and I've got a little bit more cup clearance, which is really nice actually. Not a lot of semi-automatics have that functionality with them. All of them will have a removable drip tray for cleaning purposes, but not to give you more space for a bigger cup, which is great. I do like that. We have a pressure gauge. So this is really nice. I'm trying to think of a semi-automatic from DeLonghi that doesn't have a grinder on it that has a pressure gauge, and I don't think that there is one or has been one. So unlike the Dedica or the Stolosa, which this machine is similar to, but is kind of replacing, I think, we have a pressure gauge. Otherwise, we would just have shot buttons or a shot dial to start and stop espresso for us. We have pre-programmed buttons, so single shot, double shot on this machine. And then the steam wand will also put out just hot water, which is nice and easy. Your shot volumes, we found came programmed to like the biggest amount that it could do. So if your espresso shot is pouring out like 5 ounces when you first get this machine and take it home, don't be alarmed, just override the program settings and you should be good to go. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit interesting. We're going to be brewing with the espresso machine stock. So we're going to be brewing with the dual wall basket using this little lovely plastic scoop and tamper that all like entry-level espresso machines that are around this price point will come with. This sucks, but it kind of gets the job done. And then we are actually going to do a little bit of MacGyvering. So we're going to remove the plastic insert from our portafilter and replace the basket that's in there with a single wall basket. And then we're going to steam twice with this machine, once using the Panarello, and then in the second cappuccino that we make, we're going to steam with just the wand. So we'll be able to probably produce better foam using just the wand portion as opposed to the Panarello, but who knows, and we might not be able to, so we'll test it and see. So water tank is also on the back here, so we have a little flip up lid that you can flip up to fill your water tank. It's also fully removable. It's a decent size actually, which is kind of nice. It's not overly small, so you have a decent size there. And the machine itself is nice and compact. So again, price point is around $250. We do have a thermoblock heating system in here as opposed to a boiler system, so we won't need to refill our boiler after steaming, but we will have to just wait a little bit of time for it to return back down to temperature. Not nearly as long as a boiler, which is one of the pros of a thermoblock system. So yeah, let's get brewing. We're going to dose out our coffee. I have already done a little bit of testing with this. So the dual wall basket, it holds approximately 14 grams for a double shot. So a little bit smaller capacity for a double shot when you're using the pressurized or dual wall basket, but that's completely fine. We're still going to be able to produce some halfway decent espresso. So we're using Colombian as well, again, surprise, surprise. And so yeah, then we're gonna make cappuccino. All right, let's get brewing. All right, so we're using a grinder today. If you're at home using this machine, you can just use your pre-ground coffee. The dual wall baskets are meant to be used with pre-ground coffee, so you'll be able to kind of get a good shot like that, okay? So it looks like approximately 1 scoop is 7 grams of beans, approximately. I'm just gonna take a few of these guys out here. There we go. That's much better. It's crazy what one little bean can do to make a difference. Okay, so I'm weighing out approximately my 14 grams and I'm throwing that into my hopper here. Again, we're using the DF64, so it's a good grinder for espresso, flat burrs. There we go. All right, so out comes my portafilter. Okay, now this is a little awkward because this is for 58 and this is a 51. So I'm gonna just kind of gently try to, actually, does that work? Does this work a little bit? Works a little bit. I'll just kind of hold that little funnel there and put that in. Few grinds on the countertop, but that's okay. Okay, all right. So again, we're using a pressurized basket. We are using freshly ground, freshly roasted coffee. So it should give us a pretty nice, pretty good shot here. But we're gonna just see kind of what happens. All right, little crappy plastic tamper. Right, I'm gonna throw that up into my group head. And put my little cup underneath. Now I'm going to press my double shot button here, and the needle's going to start to rise as the espresso extracts. Good. All right. Okay. And so that shot looks really nice. We have some good crema on there. Now it is a pressurized basket, so my crema's falling pretty quickly. The way a pressurized basket works is you have one single hole underneath your basket. And so it's kind of a secondary layer of stainless steel or whatever material the basket is made out of. So after it goes through all of the holes in the basket, the portafilter basket, it then comes down and only has one teeny tiny little hole to pressurize through. And that's how you get the added crema. So if you're using something that is pre-ground or something that you're just having trouble kind of trying to dial it in, then your pressurized basket will be able to help you. So let me give this a little bit of a sniff first. It smells okay. It smells pretty good, actually. Oh, it's very robust. I definitely would have wanted some more water through that. For our next shot, when we use the kind of MacGyvered portafilter, we'll pre-program the button. We'll pre-program the button again to a different volume, so you guys can see how to do that. But there we go. So that's our shot there. It is quite bitter. I do find that I get that with pressurized baskets. You get a little bit more bitterness. It's kind of forcing that espresso out. It's heavily pressurized. And so, yeah, that's a pretty average taste. Gonna pair it with some hot milk though, and it's going to smooth out that bitterness. So I'm going to steam my milk. This time I'm steaming my milk utilizing the Panarello steaming wand. So this steam wand is going to automatically aerate and push air into the milk to create the foam, texturizing it. So we just have to stand there while the wand does its thing. I'm going to throw this shot into this cappuccino cup here. There we go. And then I'm going to froth my milk. Okay, so since I do prefer more of cappuccino, I like something that's a little frothy, I'm going to press this rubber ring around the Panarello wand down to be able to incorporate more air, and I'm going to click my steam button here. And now it's going to start flashing, and then once it's done, it's going to indicate by, I actually don't know whether it's going to turn the light off or turn the light on, or if it's going to beep. I guess we'll find out. It's going to let us know somehow. It's either going to light off or light on, solid, or it's going to give us a little bit of a beep. And then we'll be able to start to texturize the milk. Yeah, while it's heating up though, it's going to be flashing, so I'm not ready to go quite yet. Essentially, your machine is heating up the water it needs for coffee to about 96 to 98, depending. See, now it's solid. Now we can open up the valve that's on the right-hand side with this little knob here, pull it down, it's going to start to steam. Your steam requires more temperature, more pressure. So the temperature will rise, which will increase the pressure, which will allow you to use a steam wand, because all it is pressing pressurized air out with water. It's steam. And then I just stand here. So you can see that the milk is texturizing. It's near impossible to get any kind of vortex or spiral going with the Panarello. So if you're wanting to do latte art, one, a Panarello is not the wand to use, but two, you may just find it difficult with this style of machine because the wand doesn't allow for that much manipulation. Even when you're not using the outer Panarello casing. This is almost hot enough for me, so I'm going to shut it off in a moment. There we go. And our milk expanded so much. So that's really, really foamy. I'm just gonna give that a little bit of a wipe. There we go. And yeah, okay, so you can see we've like virtually lost all of our crema. Our espresso is also very, very, very small. And then I have my steamed milk here as well. So you can see it's very foamy. Texture is, it's quite foamy. I actually don't mind a lot of foam. If you wanted to do latte art, not with this milk, no way, Jose. Okay, just pure foam. It's craziness. You can like draw with the foam, but that's about it. All right, but then we have our cappuccino. So a lot of nice textured milk there. Temperature-wise for the espresso, it was good. Temperature-wise for milk, you have full control. So you can keep steaming. It's going to keep expanding, so be careful about that, but you can keep increasing the temperature as well. Cheers. It's so good. Yeah, you can't go wrong. That milk completely cut away any bitterness of the espresso. Now it just has a nice strong coffee flavor. And then the texturized milk is good. A Panarello wand does a decent job of texturizing the milk, but if you're wanting to do latte art, it's just not the kind of wand that is able to produce that style of foam. You do need a more precise microfoam to do that, and a Panarello just can't do that. You don't have enough control to manipulate the milk. This is very yummy. Wow, okay, yeah. Very tasty. So that is cappuccino, brewing espresso with pressurized baskets. We did use freshly ground coffee. If you were using your pre-ground, you would just scoop it into your portafilter. Around 2 scoops would probably be pretty good for your pressurized basket. So pressurized baskets also help with the pre-ground coffee because pre-ground coffee is usually quite dry. So if you have plants at home and you've forgotten to water your plant before, and then you go to water it, the water just falls right through the bottom of the pot, that's kind of how pre-ground coffee acts. It's not got enough moisture to soak up the water that's flowing through it, and so it just kind of falls out. So then you put a pressurized basket in there, and it's going to help to force the espresso out and produce the crema, okay? So we're going to do a little bit of MacGyvering now. I'm going to take out the plastic insert from my portafilter, and then I'm also going to take off the outer casing of my Panarello wand and see if we can produce a better or different quality of espresso and milk foam. So we will be right back. All right, welcome back. So like I mentioned, we're kind of modifying some stuff to try to get a little bit of a better espresso out of this machine. So to do that, what we need to do is take out the basket that comes stock with this portafilter. So basket is removed, and now we've got this piece of plastic on the bottom. So you can take that out. There's a little screw behind, which ours is already removed. It's in the center there. You just need a small Phillips head to take it out. And then the plastic insert comes on out like that, okay? From here, what we can do, and it'll make our brewing experience just a little bit easier. So the screw won't go back into the portafilter from the bottom, but so that we don't have espresso pouring out of 3 holes, we can just kind of place it down at the bottom of our portafilter to kind of block that center hole. And we are going to brew to a 1-to-2 ratio as well, or a 2-to-1 ratio. So 18 in, about 36 to 38 out. And then I have an unpressurized double shot basket. This is from a different DeLonghi machine. It does not fit perfectly into the portafilter. It's a little loose, but it stays in. Like, it doesn't fall out, it stays in. So you can kind of see the screw hanging down below. It's not a perfect system, but we're just trying to do a little bit better. So that's the way you modify the portafilter portion. Now, the rest of it is going to be the steam wand. So this is very easy. The steam wand is going to twist off. So you're going to kind of twist it to the side and then just pull it down, and it's just going to come right off. So I'm just going to set that off to the side, and now we just have this little rubber tube here, which we'll be able to steam with and hopefully get a little bit of a more consistent and precise texture for the milk. No latte art promises like normal, but even less than normal today. So I'm going to weigh out and grind out my coffee and then brew my shot, and then we will steam the milk and see what happens for our espresso and our milk. Okay, let's go. Like I mentioned, we're going to be weighing out 18 grams. I am still going to be using this little plastic tamper. So I could use a better tamper. It would probably help. You could also add in a little bit of a puck screen. That would also improve your extraction. So those are just some ways that you can kind of like get the most out of this machine without breaking the bank. All right, I'm gonna just get rid of a few of these beans here. 18, ooh, how did that jump up? Yeah, there we go. Ooh. There we go. And now I'm going to throw this into my hopper. And this is dialed in, so we're just going to grind this out. Perfect. And now, instead of kind of like, I tried a couple of times, but it's not working that well, I'm just going to scoop my ground coffee into the portafilter because the other way just wasn't working that well. All right. So also using a funnel here would help. I just don't have a 51 millimeter funnel, so I'm gonna just have a little bit of extra mess on my countertop, which is okay because it's this countertop has had a lot of coffee on it, so I'm not that concerned. Okay, cool. Let me just kind of push this into the center. So we're not using a ton of extra accessories, we're using just a few. And we just made some very, very quick modifications. So this is stuff that you can do at home if you have a grinder already. And a scale is inexpensive. Halfway decent scale will probably cost you about 30 bucks. So it's not gonna break the bank to make these improvements. All right, so now I have, just getting the grinds off my countertop. The machine also powered itself down. So now I've got my tamped espresso. Beautiful. And I'll put that up into my group head here. And I am going to set my scale there. And I'm going to put a little cup underneath that as well. Okay, so we've ground out our coffee, it's all tamped down and up into the group head. And now I have my scale with my little espresso cup underneath, and I'm just gonna show it to you quickly because it's super cute. It's a little heart inside, so you'll be able to see it better once we brew the espresso, but it's so precious. So I'm just gonna set that back down. And now we're going to brew. So I am going to do a 2-to-1 ratio. So I'm aiming to get about the 36 grams out in approximately 30-ish seconds. So I'm going to free pour my espresso. So I'm pressing and holding this button here. And then I'm going to release it once it's done. At the same time, I'm going to start my timer. And so timing is going. It's going to start pouring out soon. And it's going. It looks actually really nice too. Very cool. Yeah, this is a good extraction. I'm super, super happy with this. I'm gonna stop it a little early right now because this does not have, wow, amazing. Okay, beautiful. This is a true 2-to-1 ratio. Timer didn't stop it because I didn't hit it properly. This is a true ratioed espresso. So we did get about 36 grams out in around the 30-second mark. I think we had 37 in about 29. So I'm more than satisfied with that. And we were using the regular tamper, the plastic little tamper that comes with the machine. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, wow, okay. I love this. Oh my gosh, so much better than the first shot. So much more balanced. Yeah, that is amazing. Okay, I'm going to start heating up for our steam now too. And then we're going to steam the milk. I love this little cup. I'm kind of sad to pour it out. So I'm gonna just pour this into my cappuccino cup here. That is a much nicer shot. The crema is a little dark. Might be slightly over extracted, but I am pretty happy with the result of the extraction. It smells so good too. Oh, beautiful. So happy about that. Okay. Now we're going to start heating up for steaming. So it's going to flash while it's heating, and then the light will be solid once it has reached temperature and pressure as well. Now we are all heated up, so I'm going to attempt to texturize this milk better than the Panarello could. So let's see. Oh yeah. Much better. Wow. Still a little difficult to get a bit of a spiral going or a vortex, but not impossible. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Nice. Yep. I do notice that this little rubber wand is kind of like, it feels a little loose. I almost feel like it might fall off, so just being careful about that. This is hot now. I'm going to shut this off. And then I'm also going to, so to get out of your steaming mode so it can start really lowering the temperature, you just click your steam button again. And now it's going to, all of the buttons are going to flash for a little bit while the temperature is adjusting. That's perfect. So look at this milk. I don't know if we can do like a side by side of what the milk was from the other one, but look at that. That looks like wet paint. That is microfoam. That's what you can get latte art with. I still make no promises, but we'll see. Beautiful. Yeah, this texture is much better. The espresso also tasted a little bit better, so I think we're just gonna have an overall better beverage. I will note that, like, if my mug was the appropriate size for the amount of milk that I had, this texture, you can get latte art with it. So there we go. Cheers. Oh my God. It's like, it's so good. Specifically just the milk texture. The espresso flavor is still like, it's still nice and bold. It's just feels like a more well-rounded beverage. Yeah, beautiful, yum. Yeah, that's so good. Wow, I'm actually quite impressed with the espresso that this machine could put out, as well as how the milk texturized without the Panarello wand. So this is a really awesome entry-level espresso machine for people that either don't have a grinder, because you do have the pressurized baskets and you can still kind of work on your microfoam and manipulate the milk to get really nice lattes and still get that strong coffee flavor. But if you did want to kind of get into espresso a little bit, you know, the grinder is the most important thing for your espresso. You could have a $5,000 espresso machine. If you have a crappy grinder, you're gonna have crappy espresso. So if you have a $250 espresso machine, and then you can sink the rest of your budget into a good grinder, like the DF64, like a Eureka grinder. There's a lot more that I could name, but just those two off the top of my head. Even the DF54 would be great as well, smaller and compact in size. Then you're going to be able to produce really good espresso with a little bit of the MacGyvering that we did, like taking the basket out, finding an unpressurized basket as well that would work with the machine. Now, I will note that the portafilter that comes with this unit is not the same as other DeLonghi portafilters. The ears on the portafilter are different than the others. There's still 3, but the shape is different. So there may be other portafilters that have the same shape of ears and the same positioning of ears as this one. You would just need to, in your search, look at what you're purchasing and ensuring that it is compatible with this specific unit from DeLonghi. I've quite enjoyed using this machine. Actually quite a bit. I'm quite impressed with what I was able to get out of it, so that's wonderful. This cappuccino is delicious and not what I was really anticipating from a machine of this price point, if I'm just being honest. You know, like $250, you don't really expect it to really put that much out, but it was pretty good. And I think with a little bit more work and practice, you could get even better, right? This is just a couple of espressos. Today, if we were using this every day, we would be able to perfect it even more. So yeah, really, really awesome. Great, great, great entry-level machine. I love the pressure gauge. You don't have a 3-way solenoid valve, so just be careful when you're pulling that portafilter out. There will be excess water, there will be dripping. So just something to note, that you either want to keep the drip tray there so that the drips can fall in, or and if you're doing a 1-to-2 ratio, then you will want to stop the pouring just a little bit sooner than when you actually reach your ratio level. So we stopped it. We were aiming for about 36. I think I stopped it around like the 34-ish mark, just because I knew there was going to be a little bit extra that came out, just a little bit of a lag there. So yeah, 1-year warranty through DeLonghi with this machine. Again, price point is about $250. You can buy all of the products that we use today, all of it on our website as well. So we'll just leave those down below in the shop box down there. And yeah, if you liked our video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to stay up to date with us, and we'll have more stuff coming out about this machine and everything else, so stay tuned. Cheers.